Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm just
Yeti
sharing.
rage meter is loading.
Nobody.
Crane.
Down
Disrespect
Mr.
to the
Sex in the
building or lack of.
Just set this up here for
Yeah,
you.
rage meter loading. Yeah, it was, mate. It was. But look to you, Cole.
So I gotta text this here.
Mm-hmm. God, it's slow, isn't it?
You're on?
I know, I'm just setting this up to stream it for you.
Oh, are you passing it over to your channel, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on. I think it's on. It says tick on it anyway.
Big up assembled. Yeah, no, I was gonna get up at 4:15 because I figured, maybe for once in his lifetime, this manager's actually gonna fucking do something, against our rivals, obviously, on a big stage in Asia. But no, it was the same diluted bullshit that we've seen for the last 5.5 years. Nothing compares to the 2022-23 season, right? Where we had 93%. We had 93% being on top in the Prem. That was it. That's the mountain. That's the limit that we can do. Champions League, semifinals. That's the limit this manager can get us to. Which is, it's better than finishing 5th or 8th, and it's better than not being in the Champions League. It's better than not going on the group stage. So yes, it's better in where we're placing, but the football is predictable. It's pedestrian, like I said before. It's adaptable. Any team can look up and figure us out after the first 15 minutes, And it's like not and that's what I've said before. And I know I've said this on your show, Yeti, and I know I've said this with you, Jez, too. No matter who you bring in, as long as Arteta and Odegaard are doing Arteta and Odegaard things, nothing will fucking change. And we've already seen that in the first couple of preseason games. Nothing will change with those two running the show.
Nope.
It's
I agree. Big up to the assembled. And DJ Crane says, I tuned in for like 10 minutes and I heard Arteta yelling, back, pass back, Saka drop back, Benny, now. Then big up assembled, big up Jordan Brad, big up everybody on Jez's Arsenal as well. Big up to you. Welcome to the real deal. Big up Jez. Much love Arsenal in the mud this season. Can't just rely on Gyökeres. Yes. What do you think? Because it's like, I know people say like it's friendlies and all, but there ain't no such thing as a friendly against your rivals.
No.
Is it?
No, that's absolutely very true. But the question, listen to what Dale just said. I said this the other night. It's quite evident from what I've seen this pre-season. It's the same shit we saw last season.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, pre-season is about not only amalgamating your new players into the team, but it's also about trying new things. So it's quite evident to me this manager doesn't have the tactical ability of a bloody amoeba, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the same shit we saw last year. He has no plan B. It's the same sideways, backwards, boring football. I mean,
He's elite though, Jez. He's elite manager though, isn't he? Is he elite manager?
Well, I don't know what you're watching, mate, but I'm watching.
Going to Lone Star, he's elite manager. He said.
But it is the same old crap, and it's just going to be a long, long, long season because I don't see us winning anything. It'll be the same predictions as last year. We go out of this cup, that cup, and he's just going. But he's got to concentrate and win something big, right?
Yeah,
it has to be a big trophy now because he's had all this money, all this 6 years now coming up December.
Yeah,
so it's time for him now to step up to the plate and actually get the job done. If he doesn't, I did a show last night and there's a lot of people, very surprisingly, saying they reckon that our season could be over by October. Now, if that is true, and that happens, then he has to go. You cannot have a top flight club having their season. by October. I mean, that's just people in the chat saying that, and they're giving their honest opinion, and I respect it, of course. But my fear is they could be bloody right. He clearly doesn't want Groceries. It's clear you've got a brand new player, 63 sodding million quid, right? And you don't start him until the last 15 minutes. What does that tell you, guys? He doesn't want him. He don't want him. He wanted Sesko. So here we are again, £63 million. He'll absolutely piss this guy off, right? Because you know he's going to play Havertz. You know it. So buckle down, people. It's going to be another long, boring season.
Yeah, interesting. I'll tell you one thing I am going to bring to the table as well is, yes, everybody says they're just friendlies, but these people over in Singapore have paid a lot of money to see Arsenal and Tottenham play each other. They've all got the shirts on. That's all Spurs shirts. That's all Arsenal shirts. So you should kind of, even though it's a friendly, you should kind of put something on for it. And I think, if you want my honest opinion, because I'm going to give it anyway, but basically Spurs came at you with a tough game, and basically Arteta basically turned around to the guy, because you lot was getting involved in the rough stuff as well. Arteta told him to stop doing that, and then told him to keep chucking themselves to the floor. Ref weren't having any of that. He wasn't having any of that. You know, I think Spurs were the only ones that got a yellow card, but I don't know. Oh, it was you. I can't remember. But it's like, as soon as that didn't work, there was nothing there. I was quite impressed with Spurs, so you probably won't like me saying that, but I was.
They were organised.
They did look organised, Dal, because they've got a better manager. That's what. Exactly. It's not hard, is it?
And I would absolutely destroy Bournemouth. And we would struggle with Bournemouth right now. And United absolutely wiped the floor with them.
Yeah.
You know, Hoyland got his first goal or second goal in preseason. How many preseason games? I'm at the point now, Jez, it just doesn't look good. Right? It's like he's juggling more players than he can control. Let's be honest. He does not have, I don't think, right at this point in time, 2 weeks into the season, 2 weeks till the season starts, that he does not have a solid first 11 nailed down. He's got some decent players. I think Madwecky's an okay player. I think it's decent squad fill. I don't know if he's any better than Reece Nelson, right? I mean, that's the real debate. Which one's really better? Which one has been clutch for us? Reece Nelson, right? So Madwecky's just a year younger than Reece Nelson, something like that. I think he's 22 and Reece Nelson's 23 at this time. Somewhere in there, or maybe they're the same age. The fact is they're the same player, so there's really no difference. We should have just brought Nelson back from Fulham, but now it looks like he's going to go off. And if, like Jess said, if you buy different players, you've got to experiment with different things. Like, where's the 4-2-3-1? Why can't we isolate Gyökeres up top? Why does he have to be in a 4-3-3 where he has to play kind of a false nine striker type role? That, yeah, he could probably do it, but you're, like Jess said, you're not going to get that in 15 minutes of play.
No.
I mean, it's stupid. Why didn't Havertz get 15 minutes of play? He's the one coming off an injury. He's the one who's been in the workout room, right? You would think you'd bring Havertz on for the last 15 minutes, but no, he plays the guy that's just coming off an injury for 75 fucking minutes. Not the player that we just bought who's fit and ready to go now. And like Jess says, is it an Arteta sighting? No, it's purely a Berta sighting. But if this is an issue, we are doomed now. We're fucked now then if this is a dressing room issue between Arteta, Gyökeres, and Berta. The drama's already started, if that's the thing. I try to steer away from that, not get too much into that, what's really going on in the dressing room. I don't know. Jez, you guys would know better than I would. I leave that to you guys, the experts, to figure some of that out, because you guys have been following your clubs a lot longer than I've been following Arsenal, and you've been following English football longer, right? But I do know that when you bring a fucking donkey back from injury, you don't play him against your biggest rival for 75 fucking minutes and expect him to produce, and then bring the number second best striker in the world third best striker in the world, for 15 minutes and ask him to change the game around against our biggest rival.
Yeah,
I mean, it just adds the rivalness, as you guys know, just adds that added heat and drama and violence, to the pitch, right? And so you want to go out there with your strongest 11. And Kai Havertz doesn't make the bench; he's the bus washer. Go fucking win. It's just, again, it's insanity putting the same shit out there, expecting different results. I mean, the style of play, it's not, we don't even have the identity of that yet because we had no identification of style of play last season. 14 draws, nobody was, I didn't watch the last 4 weeks of football. I literally could not watch that team play anymore.
No.
It was like watching golf.
You was looking different. It was exactly the same as what I saw last season.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same, pigeonholing Havertz in, micromanaging from the halfway line. Frank's just standing there, trusting in his players that he's got. I saw a difference in Spurs. I didn't see a difference in Arsenal. And the friendlies, yes, you put it on, but you tried different things. Nuno's tried a 4-4-2. He's done all different things, a diamond. That's what you do with friendlies, And Pipes here says it perfect. Arteta only has players, but no team.
Exactly. Yeah. Same with United and Spurs last season. We're buying players to cause problems, Jazz. It's like we have 4 left wingers now. And we're expecting to make these deals in two weeks. Again, we put ourselves behind the 8 ball. The outings should have been done 3 weeks ago. Why are we fucking around with Nelson and Kiwior?
We played Ndoye today. We played Ndoye for like 60 minutes. The one we've signed this week.
Yeah.
He was on the pitch for like 60 minutes.
Yeah. Well, our Goicoechea, the number 3 second best striker in the world, is on the fucking bench. Taking instructions from the coaches.
He was burning to play as well, wasn't he? With him getting stuck at Sporting CP with what was happening, he was burning to play, and he only gets 15 minutes. So it probably pissed him off already.
Right.
That's what I said today. He don't want him. It's quite evident he's not interested in Gyökeres, and he's acting in the usual Arteta impetuous child. By the fact he's saying, "Well, I only wanted Sesko. I didn't want this guy." So you've pissed me off already, Berta. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man.
DJ Crane's spot on there. The 15-year-old is the one that's lighting shit up.
That's what we're talking about. A 15-year-old.
He looks absolute quality. But the one thing I'd say about Dalman, hopefully you get a good manager in who's going to put him in the right direction, because you look at Saka, and Saka for me now is the biggest diving player in Premier League.
Yeah, he got a knock the other day, didn't he? Dead leg.
And who's that down to? The fact he's diving. Who do you think that's down to?
Arteta. Tell him whenever you get touched, just fall so we can keep you.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't even get touched. Sometimes you don't even get touched.
Yeah. It's all. I mean, we're already saying that it's big up Paris. If we're always saying that, if we're always seeing this already, the first couple games. I know we got Villarreal coming up, I think, on Wednesday. I just don't see. I wanted to see a 4-4-2. I wanted to see kind of, Martinelli, Rice, Odegaard, Saka in the midfield 4 with Havertz kind of like off left, like Henry played at times with Bergkamp up front.
Tony.
I kind of want to see Havertz off that left-sided striker role and Gyökeres up front, just off the left side, right? That 4-4-2. I always thought we were good at that. And of course, that's Wenger days, right? And I'm sure George Graham days too. I was a little bit after George Graham, so I can't comment on that. But I just see that 4-4-2 working, right? Rice drops back, Odegaard goes up, assists Havertz on the left side, and you can kind of see that working. I think Havertz and Gyökeres do have goals in them, but it's the service, right, from Odegaard that gets on my tits every time, because we know he goes to that right side. And he just needs to get to that left side more. And I still, to this day, say that's part of the reason why Martinelli has failed, because he's not getting the ball in positions where he can really do anything. And when he does, his head's down. I get that. But, he just doesn't get the ball as much as Saka did on that right side. And until he was injured, well, Odegaard was injured too, so it sort of just evened itself out. But the thing is that I want to see more movement on that left side. I don't want to see Rice just dribbling up the ball and then looking around for an outlet like we've seen him do so many times. And when he does have that outlet, it's like Martinelli on the left, but he's already so wide, he can't do anything, right? And the defenders are already set up. So, this whole Rice down the left side thing I think is great when it works, but it doesn't work against teams that are organized, and it didn't work against Spurs. So I don't know. I want to see 4-4-2 with Havertz off the left-sided striker role. And Jez, you know what I'm talking about, and so you, Yeti. That's what I want to see, because I think there is goals between Havertz and Gyökeres. I do think there's something there if we can just get the right service.
Havertz is a problem to the team, mate. He's a problem to the team.
I agree, but he will be forced in, and if you're going to force him in, he has to play some sort of center forward type role, right? I don't want to see him at left mid. I sure as fuck don't want to see him in center midfield, just standing there figuring out if his shoes are tied. But he's going to force him in, and I do think that at times Havertz, can do something physically, right? I think he's a presence, but it's obviously not effective, and he's not a goal scorer. But I think he's a presence that would open up more room for Gyökeres, probably Gyökeres things. I don't know. And then I like 4-2-3-1 as well, right? With Gyökeres isolated up front, with Zubimendi and Rice in front of the back four. I think that's a good setup too. But we'll never know, because he doesn't play this shit. He never plays it. And I'm no manager expert, but I know how to put together a formation with $1 billion team, $900 million team.
Yeah.
It's a FIFA team. It is. It's a FIFA team. If you had to scheme on FIFA, you'd be beating people.
Yeah, I mean, when you have when you bring in new players like Damsgaard, is it Damsgaard or Norgard or whatever his name is? I mean, I don't think he looks too bad, to be honest. Just does his job, whatever he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But it's you're still doing this. What needs to go from football, in my opinion, and you were saying the other day in your chat with Views, and I think exactly the same. I want the 4-4-2 back, because the 4-4-2 was great. When you got two strikers who work together and all of a sudden start to mold together, it's brilliant football. And I think that's kind of what needs to come back, because today it's too much of this possession shit. It's we're lost, but we got 99% possession.
It's a shit.
You lost.
Possession doesn't win games, mate.
Of course it don't. Exactly.
It's goals in the net that win you games. And I totally agree with your comment about. I've been saying now for quite a while. Go to a 4-4-2, because last season we were getting overrun in midfield in games because the three in midfield just weren't doing the job they should be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Rice was all over the place, trying to cover here, cover there, because the other two weren't doing the job. This season, if we can spot that, the other opposing managers have spot that. Last year they were targeting down that left wing or their right wing, if you want to call it, from the opposing team, and we lost. How many games we draw? 13. 12 from a
14.
winning position. We were winning the game, and we ended up scoring because this clown cannot accept the fact of changing up the tactics.
Yep.
He'll stick to the same shit every time. Come on, how many times last year was there games that I was watching? Right, we're in a winning position, and then we get a draw, an equal. They equalise. Or they go 2-1 up, and we need to get a goal to win the game, and he brings on defenders.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is how naive and how tactically inept he is. Because anybody that does that, right, to me, shows their naivety in tactical prowess, because he hasn't got it. And he gets found out all the time. He got found out against Spurs. Their manager, Frank, he found them out. And all right, I mean, it was a stupid thing from Raya and Skelly, but Skelly was naive. But we've been saying it and saying it. He's going to get lobbed. He's going to get lobbed one day, and he did. Now, if they don't learn from that in pre-season, then it's something seriously wrong, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like I've said, I mean, it is pre-season, yes. But when they paid their money to go and watch those games of Arsenal and Spurs playing against each other, with all the things that we say about the derby games and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it was a bit grueling. It was a bit bitey. I mean, it's quite entertaining to watch. Jed Spence, which is somebody you guys should have signed ages ago, took on like 5 of your players on his own. I mean, he is just utter class, and he's coming back to himself as well. And Frank's always wanted Brennan Johnson when he was at Brentford. So now he's got those two that can work together, which obviously they did at Forest. If he can get that situation going again, then, he's on to a good thing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an absolute quality player. So, okay, Arsenal won the Beat Madrid DVD. That's
sure.
That's what you're gonna get.
If there's a copy of that available on the street corner, please send it to Oregon. Oregon. I think you guys are right. I think if Thomas Frank gets them going and puts Kudos in the 10, let's say they do a 4-2-3-1 with Kudos in the 10, we're fucking cooked, bro. Because Kudos is a fucking awesome player. I was livid when they picked him up a couple of weeks ago. I thought that would, if we would have gotten Kudos, game over. I would have put him on the left wing.
Yeah.
Right away. Or even in the center. But see, I think I would take Kudos and Eze. Kudos on the left, Eze in the middle, Saka on the right, Goikarez up front. That's a title. Or that's a trophy. I think if we compete in the cup games, I think we can get something out of that. I really do. I think if we compete, though, Jez, only if the manager puts us in a position to win, right? We're going to win it regardless, right? We're going to be in we come in round 4 or whatever it is. We're going to be in it regardless. So, like Jez says, why not go win the whole fucking thing? There's nothing stopping us. That's the thing. I don't get how, Crystal Palace can come in and do these things. It's just determination. It's just determination they had. I mean, you ask our friend Jack, it's just sheer determination that got them through those rounds. And it's a brilliant
to Arteta, FA Cups and Carbob Cups are pocket change. The ones that's going to do something is Champions Leagues and league trophies, but he's not getting them either. So you've got to get the ones that you can get.
And this is what we talked about just a few weeks ago on your show, Yeti, when Palace lifted the trophy. It's that, Arteta won't push for those things. But what you and I talked about was that what that does to the players' mentality of going into the next game, into the next season, right? Spurs are ready. Spurs have their European Cup, which obviously we don't have, 1994 against Parma, but whatever. We don't have that in anything close to that in the current generation or current era. So, yes, they're one step ahead of us in that, unfortunately. And we took a Luke Shaw own goal. It was one of the worst games we've all seen, but whatever.
But the thing is, as well, I mean,
just give motivation.
If you want to know what kind of manager Arteta is, right? We said this so many times last season, yeah? Raya is going to get lobbed. If he keeps running out like that, he's going to get lobbed. When we play against you, I would be saying to the team, try and win the ball when he gets that far over and then smash the fucker over the top and score. Because you've got an amazing defence, but your defence don't mean shit if you can lob straight over your goalkeeper and straight over everything and put the ball in the net. And everybody's capable. I'd say they're capable of it. They can't shoot outside the box, but, anybody, if you're going for that lob you shouldn't miss, should you really? I mean, some of them do. But we've been saying that for ages. And I want to see what he does next. Because if the next game I watch and he's still letting Raya come out that far, that tells me everything I need to know. He hasn't got a fucking clue. He's either too cocky and thinking, oh, it'll work eventually, or he just hasn't got a clue. It's so
People
obvious.
are already calling for Kepa. Already are calling for Kepa.
Yeah.
You know, he had a great showing against AC Milan.
Is that not a manager coaching thing that you tell your goalkeeper? What is the point coming out that far? Can someone tell me what the point is? Because if you get a break, can the goalkeeper tackle the person that's on the break? No, because he's likely to bring him down because tackling's not a major game. So you're going to put your goalkeeper then in a position where he might get sent off. So it doesn't work either way. There's no point in doing that.
Why can't you just bring a center back a little bit more as a sweeper and just have the goalie step back? Right? There's no reason to have our center backs holding hands at the halfway line. One can drop back and play kind of a sweeper role to make sure that gap is covered.
Exactly.
You know, it's just like nobody's going to get a ball at the halfway line and turn on Gabriel and run halfway of the pitch. Like that's just not going to happen, right? No. Especially if Saliba's back there as sort of that sweeper, you know, but then you think the ball's way up on the other end. Do I really need to be that far back? Do I need to go forward, right? But that's all part of the managing as well because he's not telling them where to go or where the gaps are or where to cover, right? He's telling them more of where to stand, who to watch, instead of watching the open areas that are vulnerable for attack, you know, and the loud thing is going to happen again. And I already think Kepa has had a better showing from what I saw against AC Milan. Even though we lost the penalties, but whatever that was, but we still beat him, and he still made some great saves. But again, and even Newcastle goes back to what DJ Crane said. We had to rely on a 15-year-old to get us a penalty because we couldn't.
If you've got one of the best defenses I've ever seen, Tony Adams, you know, the four that you had there, even if they go too high up and the goalkeeper comes out that far, even they don't mean nothing if they can lob the ball straight over the top. We got done by Brentford 2 times last season by just a simple ball over the top. And it doesn't matter how good your defenders are or anything. If you're that, to me, he's 101. If he continues to let Raya keep coming out like that, he is a complete fucking idiot, which I think he is anyway, as I've always said.
Yeah.
Seaman got lobbed. Yeah, he got lobbed a few times. Yeah, you do get lobbed, but come on.
But it's just to me, it's just a sense of not having radar or the complete concentration. It's about concentration and radar of what's going on fucking around you, right? So I don't know if it's Arteta or Raya. It's a mix of both of them, and it just can't happen anymore. And like Jez has been saying on the shows, we go down a few points. If we start drawing games early, it's done. It's done. Like we are not.
Says, who's the Woolwich fan's name at the bottom? That's Jez, mate. That's Jez's Arsenal.
Woolwich.
100%er.
Woolwich.
And guy with an A beginning with N. And Wagwan, Mr. Collins, Donna Cullen. Question: every goalkeeper at this Twitter buys gets lobbed. Coincidence? That's true.
Yeah.
Mr. Yeah.
But I get a Wagwan either, Donna? What the hell?
Don't get a Wagwan. A Wagwan, whatever it is.
Donna's cold to the American. But, let's put in Kepa. Let's put in Mascara. Let's pair him up with Gabriel Saliba. Let's put, Timber at right wing, Skelly at left. Let's put in Zubimendi and Rice as the 2 in front, and let's see what happens. But I know, and you know that I know he's going to play 4-3-3 consistently every game for the season. And in my opinion, that's the easiest formation to find out, because once you're past the midfield 6, it's done. Right? Once you're past the CDM, it's done. There's really, if the other center mids compact in and compress in the middle more, that's great. But that doesn't always happen. And I still feel Like with Odegaard controlling the game, nothing changes. The tempo doesn't change. The passing range doesn't change. The objective side that he takes to the right side every time to Saka, right? It's Odegaard, Saka, Odegaard, Saliba, Saliba to Saka to Odegaard to Saka whips the ball in and nobody's there, or Saka takes it in the middle with his left foot and bashes it far post, top pins, right?
You know what I'm thinking about?
Those are far in between. How many times did Saka do that last season? What, 3 times, if that?
Yeah. You know what I think about Arsenal? If the idea he's got works and you start banging goals away, you'll beat anybody. But when it don't work, that's where the problem is. Because as soon as it don't work, there's absolutely no ideas. He's into AirPod Albert or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
Like for Liverpool and City, right? If their strikers aren't firing, it's not working. Right, so you can similarly say the same thing for Liverpool and City, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. If they're not firing, they're not firing either, right? But the thing is that if they're not firing either, I don't see us climbing to the top, Jez. I don't see us doing another January, February of 2024 where we scored 31 goals and conceded 4 or 5. Remember that run we went on, right? So if that doesn't happen, I still think we end up like last season, Jez. I still think we're in the double digits of draws. I really do.
I totally agree. We cannot afford to do that again if we're going to be serious about contending for the league. It's just not going to work, you know. I mean, but there's comments out there, Dal. You know, when we were invincible, we drew 13 games. Yeah, but we didn't lose any. That's the difference.
Right.
Like, we lost silly games last season from being in a winning position.
Correct.
That's the difference. The Invincibles didn't do that. And yeah, I mean, you've got to admit there was a few lucky games there that Arsenal maybe shouldn't have won, but the determination of the team got it over the line. Different quality team. This team hasn't got that. And you know, you were talking about the domestic cups, right? You know he won't go for the domestic cups because he's not serious about the domestic cups.
But that's crazy to me. We have the squad now to compete on all those fronts. We have the striker. We have the striker that we've been needing to get us over the line in these cups. If we would have had Gyökeres, let's say, in form against United, we would have probably lifted that cup. It probably wouldn't have gone to pens. You know, could have, should have, would have. You know, but I think the signs are already there that he's taking the coaching over. He's overcoaching already. He's overthinking. He's overcoaching, and he's not giving the proper players the time they need out there to assimilate to the squad. Meaning Gyökeres. It's just, I just don't know how he made that decision to play Havertz for so long and give his new striker 15 minutes. I just don't get it. And if that's the pattern, Jez, you're right. We're gonna be nothing different than last season. Maybe a few added cure goals there. Maybe we pull some of those draws over the line to wins. But at this point, I just don't see it. You know,
you know what? It says a lot. That actually says a lot. What you've just said, right? Is like a lot of teams, like say we bought Endoy in and he was on for like 60 minutes today, even though he'd only had 2 training sessions with us, so he didn't know fully about what we do and how we do it and all that.
Did you guys win today?
Pardon? No, we lost 1-0 against Birmingham. But it's like the thing is, what the point I'm getting at is Gyökeres comes in, yeah, and he cannot put him on full until he's like done all the coaching with the team and all the training with the team. So what does that tell you? He's got one style and one style only, yeah? Because otherwise he would have put him on and gone, right, we've signed you, you're here, show us what we signed. You know, that's what you would do. But because he's not been training with the team and he doesn't know the way the team plays and everything, he didn't have the confidence. He was frightened that he put him on for like 90 minutes and he wouldn't do anything. Right. And that makes him look bad. Do you get what I mean? That's what I think anyway.
90 minutes, I can't imagine Gyökeres being on that pitch in 90 minutes and not doing something, even if it's an assist.
No, I can't.
Even if he hits the post, right? I mean, but like you said before, the guy's ready to play, and he has a big introduction. What the game before, was it that game where he walks out in the 14 and blah 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 blah, the fucking fireworks are going off and shit, and then you start fucking donkey 29.
Yes.
It's like, what are you thinking?
That guy's a nightmare, mate. You must see him in your nightmares when you have your Arsenal dreams or whatever. Like you're having a dream about the Invincibles, and all of a sudden they put Havertz on, and you're like,
a vampire. Jesus Christ. He does look like a starving vampire. I'm glad he put weight on. I want everyone in the squad to succeed. I really do. I want this manager to succeed. But at the same time, that's going to keep him in a job. So the closer he gets, like the Madrid games, it just solidified his position more as a manager, right? And the Crockies are going to look at that as progress. They're going to look at that as, damn, we were almost there. So why would we change things up when we were almost there last time, right? That's how the owners think.
True. Matt Spurs says Arsenal lost the first North London derby outside of London. You lost.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not going to name the names of the channels. You know who I'm talking about. Saying that Arsenal are going to finish above Liverpool. What are these people seeing or dreaming? Right? Because look at the players they've just bought, right? And their second bids in for Isaac. Yeah. So what's that about then?
Invincible in the league
of Liverpool. So I don't understand what Matt Spurs is saying there, but I don't get that one. Sorry, mate.
I think you have to win everything, Jez. You have to win the fucking dinner plates. You have to win the Champions League.
72 games.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not invincible.
Right. Okay. I understand.
From a Spurs fan, I mean, the comedy gold, isn't it? That
I'm seriously nervous about United. I think once they get cooking under Amarim, whatever the fuck his name is, it's going to be tight for us. I think what we'll see is the Arsenal United rivalry this season for sure.
Yeah.
We got more because I think there's a big battle for third and fourth.
Big up, Cam.
I think we'll be fighting for third or fourth. I can see Liverpool and City just kind of running away, right? Running away, 6-8 points up in October, and then us sort of, struggling with about, 5 points behind them or something like that consistently throughout the league, right? Throughout the season. I just don't think it's one of those seasons where we're going to go up, then we're going to go down, and then go up and go down. I think we're going to consistently stay around third or fourth, maybe even fifth. Because the teams are getting better. Chelsea are getting better, which we know. United's getting better. Forest has gotten better. Newcastle's, we'll see, right? Sesko may come on and pop off for Newcastle. We don't know, right? But I think at this point, Isak's going to stay because Liverpool hasn't upped their transfer fee for him. I think they went to 140 and that got denied. I think they did 120.
I don't know what the players have don't want him back and they want him sold.
Well,
I mean, I don't know how much truth there is in that. That's just social media.
Yeah. But that would make sense.
A good one though. Jez, do you see any character within this team? If we concede a goal, there is no communication amongst the players on what went wrong. No, we ain't got a captain, mate.
No.
He's not a captain. He's got no balls to be a captain.
No.
The last part of last season, the only person I see giving any direction to the team in difficult times, right, was Declan Rice. Getting in people's faces, a bit like the old Tony Adams, straight in their face, wagging the finger,
Yeah.
That is a captain. Odegaard is not a captain material. And I said this last year, and I'm going to say it again. Take the captaincy off him, and I reckon you'll see a different player. I reckon the pressure is too much for him. I don't think he has the balls to be a captain. He doesn't have.
I don't.
Doesn't have the experience.
No, I mean, take the captaincy off him, give it to somebody else, Gabriel, Rice has got the experience. He's done it before. So if you took that pressure off him, Odegaard, he might be a different player.
Yeah,
you can't have a captain disappear in big games.
Right.
No.
And he does. He disappears. He'll stand behind players. He don't want to get involved. He's frightened of making a mistake. Well, I'm sorry, it's not a captain for me. A captain leads the ship, right? Yeah. And he leads the team on that park. And if we ain't got that captain, then there is assembled. There is no character that can actually keep the team together.
Nope.
Big up Shane Gooner.
All Odegaard does that I see as a captain is just every time like things ain't going well, he just stands there and goes, come on, get behind the team. And it's like, well, you know, captains have to do more than that. I mean, you see every time Rice does more than that. Rice actually goes, come on, guys, come on, let's get on with it. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's what I want as captain.
That's what Stuart Pearce used to do. That's what Tony Adams did. That's what Roy Keane did. You know, come on, get on with it. Don't stand out there messing around. Let's get this game won. That's what captains do, and that ain't Odegaard. Odegaard looks like the kind of person that when you're at school back in the day, he keeps getting picked on all the time.
Well, he comes from, I've always said this before, I think on a show with you, Jazz, and even with TJ, etc., that there's two schools of football, right? There's the finesse pretty boy school of football, which Odegaard comes from, and then there's the blue collar, rough and tumble, iron workers where all, like the Hammers are from, and Arsenal from, the World War I days and so forth, right? The blue collar workers type clubs. Right, and type players, and then of course you have South Americans, etc. But Odegaard is from that elite school of football, right, where they're told not to touch, and you do tricks and flicks, and you make the football look pretty, even though it's not really productive. Right, he comes from that pretty boy finesse school of football, but then Declan Rice comes from the hard knock school of football. And which one usually wins out? Well, the hard knocks player, the blue collar player, we'd call him in America, right? The iron. The real hard-ass player wins the day. The finesse guys always end up on their ass. Yeah, it looks good to watch as a neutral, but at the end of the day, Odegaard is not that productive. There's nothing, last season was horrendous. He was injured. The season before, not that good. The season before that, excellent, right? So he's really declined, and I just, there's other players there we can play in that position. Number 22. Right, let's get Eze in, or let's just do with the 4-4-2 and let's put Rice and Zubamendi in there just to shore things up, right? I think with Grace and so forth, do we need that creativity? He just needs service. He doesn't need a backheel, a flick to Saka, to Odegaard, and then loop a flat ball over to Goikarez, which he really probably isn't going to head down anyway, right? Just have Zubamendi play a strong through ball, have Rice run up the left side with support from Martinelli or Madwecki, and figure it out that way. This always going to Odegaard. Again, it's predictive. It's slow. It's predictable. It's adaptable by whoever we go against. And and nothing is going to change with this guy pulling the strings. Big up, Stephanie.
Yeah, big up, Stephanie. It's a shit show at the end of the day. Let's be honest with it, right? We've got a below grade manager, a below grade captain, the two leaders that need to be the best, and we ain't got them. So there's no direction of any of greatness from Arteta, in my opinion. I think the players get bored of him. His boring, slow process of gamesmanship, and we've got a captain that's not a captain.
So like Root says, Rice should be a captain, mate. 100%.
Yeah, totally right.
100%.
Way too long now, but he won't do it. He won't do it because he loves Odegaard. He loves Havertz, right? He will shoehorn them in wherever he can.
Yeah,
he hasn't got the balls to turn round. Right, and say, no, you ain't playing because you're not up to scratch.
No.
He did it with Enweri. He dropped him out the team.
He did. Yeah.
and this is his sort of treatment of players. And I guarantee you there'll be a fallout between Gyökeres and Arteta. Gyökeres has got an attitude like Aubameyang had.
He wants to win.
There'll be a fallout, mate. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
And it's going to fall to Gyökeres, Jez. Big up Dr. Seymour Butts, because Gyökeres is a winner. Gyökeres wants to win. Arteta wants the image of winning. You know, he wants the image of winning in his own way, Jez. Right? We've talked about this, how he will win his own way.
Right.
Like, he won't make the logical decisions that would get us something. Instead, he sticks with what he wants to do, even if the results don't come our way. Because he'll do the same shit the following weekend. You know?
Yeah.
Things will not change with Odegaard and Arteta at the helm.
Nope. Not in any way, shape, or form. I mean, if you know what you're talking about, you can see that he's not in any way, shape, or form captain material. If you've seen football from back in the day and you've seen captains, that ain't captains. Roy Keane would stand in the dressing room and he'd just stare a lot of them out. You better be up for this game. Or I'm going to kick your head in or wherever.
Right.
But you know what I mean? That's what he used to do. And it's like Tony Adams the same. But a lot of players as well who are captains, they get that respect anyway. You know what I mean? What's he done?
Nothing.
To get that respect?
He was a journeyman football player that ended up at Madrid because he was a 16-year-old prodigy that did nothing for Madrid, went to Real Sociedad, didn't do much. I think he was. Did he play under David Moyes when Moyes was at Sociedad? Maybe not. I don't recall if that's the right.
I don't know. Never heard of it
together, but
signing, to be honest.
Oh really? Yeah, he's a journeyman footballer. Like, Madrid didn't want him, and then they loaned him somewhere, and then he came back to Madrid. Didn't work out. They sent him off to Real Sociedad. I think that was a loan deal. And he came back. So it's just, he's one of those kids, like you said, he's a nice guy. He's just too nice. He's too nice, and that goes into play of why he's not vocal out there, why he's not like Declan Rice, why he doesn't drive the team to win. As much as people can make fun of Declan Rice, 100 mil, but I mean, name some better midfielders in the league. And I know there's 3 or 4. McAllister's decent. I think this Gravenberch is looking good. But Declan Rice is one of the top midfielders in the league. I don't care what really anybody says about that. And he's even proved that against Madrid. I mean, against, one of the biggest stages in the world. So 100 million shit, that's nothing now. He's worth almost 150.
I totally agree with you there, to be honest with you. I think Rice, since he's come to Arsenal, has come into his own.
Deserves the honor.
Times you watch a game where there's not a lot happening and he's trying to make things happen all the time. I mean, I think he's been an absolute phenomenal signing for you guys. And I go on a limb right now and say that if you sacked Arteta and you got a proper fucking manager in them doors who's actually a manager, Simeone or whoever you want to pick, you'd see a massive difference straight away.
I'm ready to bring Conte in. He just won it with Napoli.
Is he in prison?
Conte's in prison?
No, not Conte. That's the Madrid guy, isn't it?
No, I'm looking for Conte. And no, Ancelotti.
Why do we take so long? Right. I mean, this Gyökeres deal went on forever and a day as usual.
Right.
The Eze thing. Just pay the release clause. If we're serious and we really want him, just pay the bloody money.
Yeah.
Get it done. Because we always piss arse about. Somebody else comes in at the back door, nicks the player that we want. Right. Just pay it. But we have to mess about all the other. You don't see other clubs doing this. Liverpool haven't done it. Liverpool just gone out and then said, right, we want you. Here's the money. Come and join us.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the Morgan Gibbs White thing. I said it today, right? when they find out what that release clause is, now I know a lot of release clauses everybody knows anyway, like Saka, I think, is 120 million or something, because I remember everybody going on about why it was so low. And with Morgan Gibbs White, there was an NDA there. Yeah. So it was obviously leaked. But I've got to say, right, Spurs, you must be the dumbest people on the planet, because if it was leaked to you and you hit it right nail on the head, that was a little bit silly, because if you'd have gone in, we're like, right, he's got a 60 million release clause. Let's go in at 52, gets turned down, 55, 61. Oh, shit, they bit the release clause. We would have had no choice. We would have had no choice because it was the contract. But the fact that you went in right on that price, which no team ever does unless they actually know what that price is, you kind of screwed yourselves, to be fair.
Well, it's also you fitting the profile, right? That's I think the holdup, Jez, is they were analyzing the profile of Gyökeres. A big up fucking Aaron, oi.
Aaron.
They're looking for the profile. So that to me tells me how great though Arteta's trying to figure out how to get Gyökeres and how can I get him to do this and do that? Well, number one, Arteta, you fuckwad, just let him play. Stop coaching the talent out of these players. Let them express themselves. Let them play. That's the thing. We look too constrained against Spurs. Release the leash, man. Cut the leash. We've been saying this for like 4 or 5 years now. Cut the leash. If we concede a goal, that happens. But go and score 4. Go and score 3. Right? Make that the objective. Defenses give up goals. You have to score goals to win these games.
I hope you actually win something so that I don't have to hear all this moaning all the fucking time. Forest and Arsenal, just to make sure that you actually win something.
You just like our colours.
Not with this idiot. This guy's an absolute idiot. And you guys know it. Everybody in the chat knows it. You all know what this guy's all about and everything. And it's just ridiculous. I don't understand how the others can't actually see it, because it's just so obvious.
He doesn't want to see it because he's in his own head.
Not him. I mean the other fans.
I'm so mad that we even just lost that game in the way we did it. The way we did it. So, is again 100 times. If it's Arteta and Odegaard, let's expect the same. Jez, Aaron, Seymour Butts, Gunnar ER, nothing but the same. Odegaard pushing it to the right side, getting it back, passing it behind, getting it back, passing it to Saka again, waiting for Saka to pull off something, miraculous. And when that doesn't happen, it goes back to Odegaard, or we lose possession of the ball. How many times did Saka get the ball on his left foot last season, get in the center of the box and bash it top bins? Twice. I know he was injured, but it's like we have to rely on him to do some of those big things, right? We have to rely on him getting the ball on his left and going past a couple of defenders and smashing it in. He has to do those things. Like Gyökeres has to put the ball in the back of the box. How Martinelli has to lift his head up and actually get a shot on target. How Trossard has to figure out which foot he wants to put the ball on. There's little things that that add up to just these inconsistencies, right? It's just I think everything has to go perfect. But when it doesn't go perfect, there's no plan B. Everybody has to be doing things perfectly. And if we don't, we're going to end up with draws, and then we're catching up. And I think if we get 2 or 3 draws in the first 6 or 9 games, we're playing catch up the rest of the season.
Teams will work you out. I mean, it's not, to be honest, sitting watching it, it's not that easy. It's not that difficult to work you out, because if Raya keeps doing that, then I'm telling my players to go for the lob every time it's on option. Every time he's too far up and you win the ball, which is what we do a lot of the time for the counter attack, then lob the guy. I know it's only happened once, but when it's happened once, everybody sees that. whether it's a friendly or whatever it is, everybody sees that, and everybody's going to be looking to do that. And that is, for me, where you come out and you go, right, stay in your fucking box. I don't see any reason for a goalkeeper to be right up there anyway, because if you get a break, he can try and make a tackle, but if he misses that tackle, that's it, goal anyway. Or if he does the tackle and the player pushes the ball away from him as he comes in, that's a foul and he's fucking off.
True. It's true. Matt Spurs, I don't know what you're smoking today, mate, but yeah,
it's proper on it, isn't he? He's sorry about the chat, guys. I haven't caught a lot of it, but I'm trying to.
No, Yeti, we really appreciate you being a BTEC Arsenal supporter.
Mate, I just really enjoy I enjoy the confab with it and all this, that, and the other.
Yeah, Henry was obsessed with Tottenham. He was. He just liked people. That's the fact. You know, Henry would never lose to Tottenham. That's a fact of the game, mate.
None of them should Tottenham.
Even in Hong Kong.
None of them should want to lose to Tottenham. But if you watch the first part of the game, I mean, I don't know how much of the game you watched, but Tottenham bought the Brentford thing to the game. You could see that, and you could see Frank's influence on the team, 100%.
Difference is, sorry to interrupt you, my friend. The difference is that influence of Frank at Brentford was quite evident, but he had a better team this time.
Yeah.
Much as I hate to say that, he had a better quality of player. So yes, he has brought that influence from Brentford.
My point is, though, you've seen Tottenham be wimpy little people that don't do anything, and he's got the same players. So he's actually turned them into a fighting, a upper team with a bit of fucking backbone. And nobody else has done that.
They're more organized. Ange had them playing so far up the pitch that, let's not forget the Chelsea-Tottenham game from, was it last season or the season before, where I think it was 4-4, 5-5 or something like that at the end, because they were basically playing all in that, right in the center of the park. And I think the players got found out and got tired of that. I mean, you can only go so hard for 60, 70 minutes, right? And so they would go hard for 60, 70 minutes, and then last 20 minutes, and Matt Spurs can probably relate to this, is they were getting beat in the last 20, 25 minutes of games because the players were so tired. And they didn't have the bench like we didn't have the bench either. There are some similarities between our clubs. As much as we can't stand each other, the states and the status of our clubs and the players we get in are all sort of kind of equal, in my opinion. We bring in, let's say, Goikarez, they go and get kudos. I mean, I still think we get a little bit of a level better because we spend more money, right, on better quality. But at the end of the day, like you guys are saying, Thomas Frank has turned this club into something different than Ange did. If they're not as, maybe, Matt Spurs can get on and say what he wants, maybe they're going to absorb the attack better. The thing is that there's so many maybes, and I think there's a bit of, enthusiasm with Tottenham right now, obviously, because they just came up winning a fucking European trophy. And like I said before, if I'm Ange, I would have set that trophy down before every single game and said, this is what we're fighting for every single match. And if Arteta had that, I think we'd see more, more shit happen. But there's he has no examples for us to fight for. There's nothing tangible for these players to say, oh, I'm going to go and grab that trophy and get it because I know I can, and the manager is giving me the power to do that. But again, he's restraining these players, and I saw it again in Hong Kong against Tottenham. He's holding them back tactically.
100%.
And it's just, I think if we had like an Ange Postecoglou, we would have an all-out attack, but we would suffer in the last 20 minutes of games because we'd be gassed out, right? And Ange is going to succeed.
At least Ange is an actual manager. At least he's an actual manager and knows what to do with players, even if he goes forward constantly and doesn't have the backbone in the team. At least he actually knows how to do that stuff. Arteta knows how to get players together and then just start doing this passing sideways. I mean, the amount of passing sideways backwards you do with the attacking prowess that you've got is fucking ridiculous. And there's no creativity and there's nothing comes from Odegaard whatsoever. Every time he steals a living. He just passes to the side all the time, passes it to Saka, passes it to the side. Now, with Gyökeres, at some point, in my opinion, he should be picking him out in the box. And if he's not, then he ain't the guy. And I don't think he's the guy anyway.
No, you're 100% right. And that's going to be on Gyökeres too, to demand the ball, to get into positions to demand the ball. Yeah. You know, but the thing is, if we knew this, when he comes to the Prem, it's going to be tougher because the defenses are better than they are in the Portuguese league. It's going to be hard for him to find those open spaces. And if Odegaard's not looking that way, he ain't going to see it. Mm-hmm. You know, he's going to, again, it's so funny because it showed, like what we've been talking about the last hour, that he's going to go to Saka every single time it's available. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, we all know that. And if we all know that, the opposition knows that, bro. Yeah. The opposition knows it.
I've made my predictions of what's going to happen with the opening start of the season. You know, everybody's gassing it up. Oh, we got Man United away first game. We're going to go up there and wipe the floor of them. I don't think we will.
Fuck no. Not with what I saw against Bournemouth.
Arsenal, man. That's probably our biggest rival in football recent history, last 20, 25 years.
Yeah. And they don't look bad either so far. To be honest.
No, and you know they're looking like they're pretty decent. So, you know, I don't understand what people see in this great Arsenal team, because they're not a great Arsenal team. We know that. You know, they capitulate way too early, right? Mm-hmm. And Xhaka's gone to Sunderland. Hey, I bet he scores against Arsenal.
Yeah, Xhaka boom incoming. I'm telling you, he's gonna lob fucking Raya. He's gonna put one in there, Jez, 35 yards. It's gonna be a bullet top bins, and Ray is gonna be standing out there in the 18-yard box with his thumb up his ass.
I actually like Xhaka.
He's gonna be up for our game.
I think he'll do well there. I liked him at Arsenal as well.
He was a better captain,
apart from what he did at Arsenal.
Captain than Odegaard, I'll give you that. Right?
Yeah.
And fair play, you know. He pissed me off at Crystal Palace when we were there, and he told us what to do. But
that's true.
You know, fair to him, this last season he put a shift in there. Apart from he cocked us up at Liverpool 2-0 up, and he did Xhaka stuff, right, and then let Liverpool back in the game to get a draw. But yeah, he's a better captain than what we got now. I'll give you that.
I think that was the break in your fans, to be quite honest with you. You know, with the that thing where he took the shirt down and this, that, and the other, that was the break. That was the break in your fans. That was where Arteta took total control. Because before, you know the same, Jez, back in the day, if somebody did that, like, what's his face, Pierre Van Hooydonk, when he went AWOL and all that kind of stuff, you know, fans react to that. And they go, you don't diss my fucking club like that. You don't diss my club like that. And that's shown that these fans are more Arteta. A lot of these are Arteta FC fans. They're not Arsenal fans. They're not Arsenal fans. I'll tell you that now. And if he leaves, I'll be surprised if they don't. And if they do, then that's all good.
Well, we know that for a fact, right? There's certain big channels out there that will never, ever go against Arteta.
No,
because they've got the inroad to Arsenal and they can't afford to go against. Now, the interesting point is, you know, I said when I was chatting with Views the other night, right? We did a stream, good stream that was. I really enjoyed that.
Cool.
Was the fact that Arsenal will always be here. The manager won't. Managers come and go, and that's life. But the club will always be there. So why are you supporting a manager that is an abject failure, right? You should not be supporting the manager, yeah? we had a great managers in past history. I supported Wenger, but I didn't love him. When he got it wrong, right, when he cocked it up, I berated him. I booed him at the Emirates. I booed him at Highbury when he cocked up there a few times, right? A lot. But you don't get that now. It's the love for this manager. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It must be the best PR to get a manager to be this loved by any other club in the world. Because this is the thing I said. I think it might be a Lee show actually. When Arteta does go, and he will go, there will be a day when he goes. Are these fans going to fuck off with him? The likes of you know who I'm talking about, right? The ones that love Arteta, they can't. Nothing can be nothing. He never does anything wrong. He's perfect. Yeah, it's not his fault. It's VAR. Oh, we've had unfortunate injuries and this, that, and the other, and bullshit. Cry. Right? He will go. He will go. And are they going to stay with the club? Okay, I hope they don't. Because I'll tell you what, right now, they're going to get a lot of abuse. Those fans are going to get a lot of abuse from the real Arsenal fans. They're going to look at them and go, right, who are you supporting now? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a joke situation now. It is a joke. I mean, you said about it, Dow. It's the blue collar workers' game. Yes, it was. Yes, it always was. It was always, you know, back in the day, people going back. Well, not nowadays, but back in the day, man. You know, the old flat cap, the old scarf, white scarf. You know, remember that, the old white scarf, jacket, and all that. Because as my granddad said, it was a game for the workmen, right? You know, it was a pie and a pint. It was a Saturday, was a pie and a pint before the game. Yeah, and that's what you look forward to. Not only, just the football, but you looked forward to going down the pub. Because don't forget, a lot of these people didn't have a lot of money, even though drink was very cheap back then, right? But there wasn't money being thrown about like you see it today.
Of course not.
You get people travel all around the world to go and see their favourite team. Well, that's because they're privileged and they're lucky to do that. You know, I know people have been going to Arsenal longer than me, still live in the area, right? They still live there. They can't afford it. They're on pensions now. They're taking their state pension, right? Whatever, how much that is a week, 200 quid, something like that. I can't remember. I don't know what it is. But they can't afford to do it. They can't afford a season ticket. You know, they're not going to, they can't afford to spend out 80 odd quid to get an e-ticket, right, on the marketplace, at the Arsenal marketplace website. So that is the state of this game now.
Yep.
It's not the working classes man's game anymore. It's for the rich and privileged.
Of course
it is.
I told you, and I've been at games when I was last leaving Arsenal. You know, I just very posh bird behind me with her two little kids. And I'm sitting there, all right, we've been to the pub before, and I'm with a couple of my mates, and we're giving it a good old chat. And she taps me on the shoulder. I said, excuse me, would you mind not swearing? I just gave her the jez look. I said, fuck off, we're not at Twickenham. You know? And she went off and complained to a steward. And his steward comes down to me when I knew him, but he come down to me and said, look, lads, keep it down a bit, will you? I said, fuck off, mate. This is a football game. We're going to get this. He went, yeah, but, you know, she's got her kids with her. I said, I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, don't bring your kids then. Or go in the family section. Right?
Do you not think, though, Jez, that people, I mean, I always look at it like this, right? You can bring in any kind of rule or anything like that, but it's people that allow it to be something. You know, because if everybody turned around and went, well, I'm not coming anymore then, and you've got an empty stadium and you're not making any money, I always put it down to, like, people just accepting things all the time and they don't realise what they're actually accepting. and then all of a sudden it becomes something else, and it becomes something else. You know, it's like this online safety thing that they're doing now, where you've got to prove that you're 18 to be on porn sites, obviously, but on all different things to try and save the kids. It's got nothing to do with saving the kids. They just hide it behind it, saving the kids.
It's all about the kids. Save the kids. On that note, fellas, I've got to go. I've got my errands to run. Great show. Big up the chat and big up you guys. I'll catch you all soon. So thanks for the invite again, Yeti. Jazz, good seeing you again.
Yeah, appreciate you being on all the time, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it. See you, chatters.
Did you enjoy my rap song? Did you enjoy my rap song?
I enjoyed the rap song. Suno, I gotta get more into Suno.com. I'm trying to figure out how to get the music first and then do the lyrics, because it seems like you do the lyrics and it gives you the music to it.
Yeah, and then you have to work out.
Yeah. I'm still gonna play around with that.
I mean, I've run out of credits.
I did.
I've run out of credits already.
Oh, did you? I got suckered into the $8 or $10 a month one. I'll probably let it play with it for a couple months and cancel. We'll see. But anyway, thanks again, guys. Big up the panel. Big up the chat. See you guys soon. Take care.
Take it easy, matey.
See you soon, buddy. You had a super chat back there a little while ago.
Oh, did I? Mate, I lost the chat ages ago, bro. I was sorting out messages and stuff. Big up to Freddie JD. How you doing, matey? Who's your top 6 this season, guys? Arsenal, Liverpool.
Quite simple, really. I think not in any particular order. It's going to be Liverpool, Man City. Spurs will be up there. Arsenal, I think, will be 5th. I think you'll see Chelsea there. And there's going to be the wild card. Last year it was you boys. Unfortunately, you dropped off at the end. It's a great shame.
Always going to happen, wasn't it? To be honest.
Well, yeah, I didn't predict you would. I thought you'd hang it on in there. You just had a few stupid results. Just couldn't hold it together, sadly.
Nah.
But
first time in the Prem for like 3 seasons. I mean, it's not too bad, is it? To like
no.
Can't fault it.
Not at all.
But yeah, I knew there was. I mean, I said it a few times now that there's going to come a point where it's just too much, and we're not going to be able to sort of keep doing it or whatever. I mean, but I've always said also that next season is what matters, not last season. Yeah, and I said that during last season as well. We've got to keep doing this, and this season for me, we've got to stay in the Premier League. Top 10, I would say, or whatever, and then win maybe a cup or something like that. That's pretty much my guideline. But I mean, if we do better, then you know we've done it to me before. Did it to me last season. I never expected that, but it's the proudest I've been as a Forest fan for a long time. Watching all that, so I mean, I'm big up to that. You know, hopefully we can go on and do it again.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you get your act together, you'll be there or thereabouts again. It's unfortunate that you dropped off the cliff at the end. It was
yeah.
You were vying for European football, Champions League, weren't you? But
apparently we did that on purpose.
No, did we? Oh, did you?
Who was saying that we did it on purpose? I can't remember. Somebody was saying the other day that we did it on purpose, and we lost to Leicester on purpose, and then we let Chelsea have it. I'm not quite sure what planet they're on. I think they must drink more drink than I do, so I don't know where they're coming from. I don't think we did anything on purpose.
Yeah, that's true, mate. But, we know there's some right weirdos out there.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
You know, I mean, I see him all the time in my chat. You know, it's going to be an interesting one. Once the season gets going, we know all the Arteta sexuals are going to be out there. Thick and fast and everything like that.
Who would you say is possibly staying up from the 3 teams?
What out the teams that have just come up?
Yeah.
Good question.
I think Leeds.
I'd say Leeds. Yeah, I'd say Leeds. I think Sunderland is too big a hike for them.
Yeah.
Leeds
have been through it before, haven't they? Yeah, Burnley, Leeds. Leeds have been through it before, obviously. Burnley have as well.
Sunderland struggle, and I think, but we know we know that Burnley will struggle. They're just the parachute club, aren't they? Up and down like a horse draws, really.
True.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think like Sunderland spent like 200 million. I think we've set like a precedence for how much. I mean, because if you're going to go into the Premier League, just spend. If you get hit with 3 points, or if the PSR hits you or whatever, so what? Just spend, because that's the only way you're going to stay up. And if you can get so far up and the 3 points,
depends what you buy. You can spend, you can buy shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know many of the players.
Spurs are a small team. Fact.
He just said, yeah, I just put that one on the screen. Big up to Vincenzo Petrone as well. I've lost the chat altogether, guys. I'm not used to like doing all this stuff. So big up to Aaron, Shane Guna, everybody that's in the chat. Big up to all of you. I don't normally do these shared streams. But it's like, well, for me, I think Leeds know kind of what it takes, to kind of do to get somewhere. So I think Leeds will be a definite. I'll tell you the team I think who's going to be in trouble: Crystal Palace, because players are getting taken away like fucking nothing.
Yeah, if they lose Eze as well, that'd be a big problem.
Yeah,
somebody will come in for him. I know Arsenal are messing about with it, but I'm fucking just laughing at that comment there. It's fucking quality, that is. But at the end of the day, yeah, Division 2, yeah, 1977.
Yeah, but you've never actually fucking won anything, though, have you, Spurs? Let's face it. I mean, if you look at Arsenal's trophy cabinet, I mean, they've actually got a trophy cabinet. You look at yours, you look at ours. We've got a trophy cabinet. You got rid of your trophy cabinet and made it into a toilet. I mean, it's now a toilet with a Europa League cup in it, but it's still a toilet.
No, I mean, respectfully, I mean, they did win that European trophy last year, so Arsenal didn't. So you've got to give them credit for that. And I'll leave it there, say no more. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But the fact remains that it's going to be a very interesting season for a lot of teams. I don't think it's going to be an interesting season for Arsenal, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the same old boring shit we've seen for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I don't expect any greatness. So, but it's going to be interesting. I think people were saying the other night on my show, it's going to be done by October for Arsenal. Well, if it is done by October, then he has to walk. He has to do the walk of shame, because if it's done that early for Arsenal, then that is disgusting. I mean, I know we can sometimes hang it out there till January, and we've capitulated under Wenger many times in January. We all know that. Top of the league in December, 3rd or 4th in fucking January. But if that's the case with this manager, then he has to walk. He has to go. There's no question. There's no defending.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Kwaji says, I might get your name wrong here, bro, but Kwaji says, who are Nottingham Forest rivals, Yeti? It's Derby County, the sheep-shagging little bastards. That's who our main rival is, to be honest. Leicester think they are our main rival, but they're like our little sister that we smack it. Well, we didn't smack them inside last time.
Is that because of Brian Clough?
We normally do.
Is that because of Brian Clough? Is that why they're your rivals?
They're just our rivals because it's like Midlands, and Brian Clough thing will come into it, because it's like every time they play each other, it goes for the Brian Clough Cup. And obviously the road that leads up there is the A52. It's called Brian Clough's Way. So, yeah, it is massively, there is a part of it that's about that, absolutely.
I just wondered about it, because I watched a film.
We ate him with a passion, bro.
4 months ago. It's a very good actor. He plays the part of Brian Clough. He plays
Damned United.
Who?
Damned United is the film called.
Could well be. It could be. I can't remember
the actor's name.
The actor played Thingy Bob, the Labour Prime Minister in The Queen, the film about the death of Princess Diana. Good actor, very good actor.
I forgot his name. Does anybody know in the chat what his name?
He's very good. He played a brilliant part in that.
Oh, he was awesome. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
The guy who played Peter Taylor as well. Great film that was. Anyway, never mind. Move on.
Notts County are Forest rivals. Yeah. I suppose they're not our most hated rivals though. Not from Forest side.
Michael Sheen
are our biggest rivals.
Michael Sheen, it is. Yeah, well done.
That's him. Oh, weren't he fucking amazing though in that film? He was absolutely awesome as Brian Clough. He did a great job.
He got his mannerisms, he got his accent bang on. And it's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, I mean that is just, I mean, that's when an actor actually puts the time in to, realise who he's acting out to be. And he got it fantastic when he goes to Leeds and he goes, "See all them trophies you've got there, put them in the bin, lad. You never deserved them."
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Absolutely fucking brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But Notts County aren't our rivals. They think they are, but they're another sister club, to be honest. We don't care about them. Again, they care about us. But
oldest team in the Football League, Notts County.
Yeah, I know. They play like it as well.
Yeah. The original team at the founding of the Football League, they were the original team. That's when you had goalposts but no crossbar. You had a bit of string. And you
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, you didn't have penalties back then.
I can remember on a Saturday watching a grandstand game, County against Forest, when we had Ian Wallace and all that lot. That's a long time ago. That was in the first division when it weren't the Premier League. That was fucking ages ago. And when it comes to County, probably one of the major reasons I'm a Forest fan, to be honest, because all my family are County fans. All my family are Notts County. Well, most of them anyway. So I just went, I ain't going with your side. I'm going with my own. And then I saw that badge. And I was like, that's for me, mate. That's for me. And I just got booked. And this is what I don't understand about a lot of people that become fans of teams. As soon as I was I knew where I was, I got books and everything. And I just read constantly. I sat in my room just reading constantly about Forest and all that kind of stuff. And it's I don't understand why a lot of fans don't do that and don't know the history. It's quite strange. Big up to Freddie JD again for the 199. Cheers, man. Jez, I missed the old Boxing Day Arsenal v Spurs. Yeah.
Ray was always that was always the one. It was either just before Christmas or just on Boxing Day. That was always the game at Christmas. It was Spurs away or Arsenal home, and they were always deadly days out. That lot, they were deadly days. Yeah, God dear. I've seen some occasions there going down the lane at Christmas, Boxing Day or just before the Christmas. Whew. Yeah, that wasn't for the faint-hearted. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I remember stuff like that back in the day. It's completely different now, isn't it?
Oh.
I think it still happens. I think it does actually still happen.
You do get that occasional skirmish, but it's pretty much, it's so under control now. The thing is nowadays, not just at football, there's so much CCTV all around, everywhere.
Yeah, you're being watched all the time, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're the watched most. Apparently, Britain's the most watched country in the world by security, and it's not just at the football grounds; it's in town centres and God knows where else. That it's very difficult that these firms nowadays do that, and it was an occasion, really, wasn't it? That it was very I mean, it is now. To be honest with what's going on in Britain, what we're currently seeing, we had a very angry society.
Crazy, mate. It's crazy what's going on there. Crazy
madness now. What's happening, and unfortunately, this is not the show to talk about it, but.
Well, I mean, it's the real deal. So, I mean, we can talk about that. Vincenzo Petroni, that Nottingham Forest side, 1978-79, absolutely 100% great team. Oh, yeah, it was absolute class. Absolute class. And, you know, Brian Clough built an absolutely amazing side there, 100%. And he gives us, like, the bragging rights we've got now, let's face it. If it wasn't for all of that, then wouldn't have the bragging rights. And if it wasn't for him doing what he was doing and going on the TV and becoming a bigger personality than their chairman, he wouldn't have got sacked. So he was at Derby first, and then he started doing all the TV stuff, and the chairman didn't like it, so he sacked him because he was becoming bigger than what he was. And that's how we actually profited from that. And then we got him, and then it just went on from there. So, yeah, I mean, he's an absolute legend. Absolute legend. And there's so many people, football fans, that don't even, like, mention him in the A-League standards and all that. It's always Ferguson and all this, that, and the other. That man was different class. He took players that were nothing and turned them into something. And won 2 European Cups. You can't fucking knock that. You can't knock that at all. Big up AFC always. Arsenal original badge came out in 1945. Bro, I've lost this chat altogether. I'm not used to having this many people in my stream. So, yeah, I've kind of lost it altogether. I'll be back in a sec anyway, Jez.
Yeah. No worries, man. Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, it's right behind me. The original, well, it's not the original Arsenal badge, but the badge you're talking about. Yeah, I agree with you. Proper badge, not like the plastic shit we got now. At the end of the day, it's when we had a proper football club, mate. That's the difference now. You know, we're just a bit part. Yeah, Vincenzo. Yeah, December 23rd, 78, Tottenham 0, Arsenal 5. Yeah, I was at that game. I've still got the scars to prove it. I got hit in the face with a brick, half a brick actually, right there, and I can tell you that fucking hurt. But yeah, it's those days. They weren't great to go to away games. They were fun as an adventure. Yes, Aaron. Yeah, when the cannon faced the right way, as it should have done, as it did over the Arsenal Foundry in Woolwich. It faced that way. I don't know why they changed it round. I don't understand why. To me, it's just a shit show, to be honest. Why we had to lose that badge that's right behind me? Well, basically, because it's got Latin on it. And certain countries around the world don't like that. So we had to lose our identity, I think the right term, if you really want to put it that way. And I think it's a bloody disgrace. Assemble Highbury Arsenal, mate. That was it. That's how it was. And I think we lost our credibility when we left Highbury, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah.
We sold our soul, mate, when we left Highbury.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And that brings me on to a point I said a few weeks back. It's going to be interesting now for Everton, right? Because they've left us grounds, which is old school, like Highbury, like your ground, the City ground. They're now moving into this.
I'm glad we've kept it, bro. I'm glad we've kept it.
Yeah, I'm glad you have. For the betterment of your club. Everton are moving into their fishbowl.
Mystery there.
And it's going to be interesting because they've struggled for survival or struggled for not get relegated in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Let's be honest. They're now moving back into this new ground they've got. And I'll be interested. I know it's got a good capacity, but it'd be interesting to see how they do there, because I remember when we left Highbury and moved into the Emirates in, what was it, 2006? It wasn't the same. The atmosphere was flat. The fans were, you could see it was all like everybody's fish out of water.
Yeah. West Ham struggled with it, didn't they, when they moved?
Yeah, when they went to the London City ground. Yes, that's true. So it's going to be an interesting time for them, I think. But yeah, we're going to see. It's going to be an interesting season. Not for Arsenal, I don't think. It's going to be a shit show for Arsenal.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it's like your heritage is there, and everything you've ever done is there, and it does make a big difference. I mean, you look at like West Ham when they sort of moved. Did Spurs move from White Hart Lane, or did they actually turn that into a toilet bowl? Can't remember.
What, Spurs?
Yeah, did they actually move, or did they just change?
They built next to it, didn't they? They bought all the land right next to it, so you had White Hart Lane.
You never get rid of your heritage. You never get rid of your heritage and what makes you what you are. I know, like, all the money comes in and all these different owners come in who think, like, like when that guy was taking over Hull and saying, "Oh, I'm going to start calling you Hull Tigers" and all that kind of stuff. That's just bollocks, man. That's just bollocks. You should never let that shit go.
Yeah, true. Yeah, agree. I mean, thankfully, you've now got your ground secure.
Oh, mate.
Because that was
owned by... I have so much respect for Marianakis. Because...
owned by the council.
Well, it is, yeah. But, I mean, he's paid the money, and now it's like... well, it's not house, but we've sorted out the deal. But I have so much respect for Marianakis because he sees what Nottingham Forest is, and he will fight in the trenches for us. Whether other teams like it or not, I don't care. But he will fight in the trenches for us. Anything, this tapping up with Spurs. Nah, it was tapping up. There's no doubt about that. And don't get me wrong, it happens all the time. And I think a lot of teams realise it happens or it's happened, but they don't fight it. But this guy, nah, he won't let us get done down. He will not let us get done down.
No, that's a good manager. Big up Lone Star, mate. Big up to you, my friend. Lone Star Londoners in your chat.
Big up Lone Star, mate. How you doing?
Jesman.
But yeah, he won't. He respects Forest, and he wants. I mean, look, he wants to make money, of course. But the thing for me with like that Morgan Gibbs White thing, why did he have a 60 million release clause? That made no sense to me. But for them Spurs to hear that that's the release clause on the NDA was fucking stupid. To actually go in on the NDA, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but there's some interesting comments you got there. Kristofsky saying that Cardiff owner making them red dragons. Oh God, I remember that.
Yeah. That was another one.
My cousin Alan, rest in peace, died last year actually. Bless him. He's a devout Cardiff City fan. Devout. Lived in Newport. I remember talking to him about that, and he was livid about it, absolutely, and as were all the Cardiff City fans, calling them the Red Dragons. Oh dear, that did not down their face at all. You can't do that sort of thing.
I've got one for you, Jez.
Hey?
I've got one for you, Jez.
Go.
What if the Cronkies all of a sudden turn around and say that we're going to stick with Arsenal, but we're going to call them North London forever?
Oh, fuck that. I think there'd be a riot. Fucking hell, I think there'd be a riot, mate. To be honest, I can't.
Can you imagine that?
Oh my days!
My days! Can you imagine that?
I actually said to somebody the other day, why don't we go back and call ourselves Woolwich Arsenal? Or Royal Arsenal? That was the second name. No, I'm lying. That was the third name we had. Do you know Arsenal have had more names, right, as a club than any other club in the Premier League in history? I mean, we were Dial Square, right? Dial Square originally, yeah. Royal Arsenal, Woolwich Arsenal. Went on from there. The Arsenal. That didn't last very long. That name, the Arsenal. And I'm missing one somewhere. Can't remember it. Then it was Arsenal. It's bizarre. We've had more names than any other team in the Premier League.
That's crazy,
probably in football history, actually.
Yeah. I would imagine so. I don't think many teams have had like loads of names, have they? Really?
I think I'm right. Somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 6 names Arsenal's had over the years. Might be 7. Might even be 7. I think it's 6. Somebody will know in the chat. Somebody will look it up or know the answer. But
look it up. Look it up. See what it is. Oh, this is the one I wanted to look at. If I was born in Nottingham, I would probably have supported Forest. Watched them win 2 European Cups as a young gunner. Thanks for the shirts, lads. Yeah. That shirt story is an interesting one as well, isn't it? Where we borrowed you the shirts or whatever.
Well, now that's an interesting story actually, because it was 2 ex-Forest players that came to Arsenal, because back in those days, right, around that period, 1886, 89, players used to buy their own shirts. They used to buy their own shirts. Like Nottingham Forest, your players bought their shirt. Right?
Yeah.
And it was 2 Forest players that joined Arsenal. I think it was 1889. That's when we went to the red and white, because originally Arsenal shirts were Dial Square, were white. They were white shirts. And then they went to the red and white from Nottingham Forest. And yeah, it was 2 of your ex-players that Arsenal bought for about 2 shillings and 6pence back then.
Fucking hell, that's crazy, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm making it up. But I don't know how much players cost back then. Nowhere near what we're talking about nowadays, that's for sure.
No, I would highly doubt that. You see this one from Matt Spurs. Tottenham are 2 times British baseball champions.
Nice one.
You'll never sing that, Jez.
Don't think so, mate. I don't think so.
You know what? I don't think you realise, Matt, that's funny, but it's funny on the level of your team, to be honest, that you're 2 times baseball league champions. What the hell?
But you've got at Forest, you've got a very good ladies ice hockey team.
Yeah.
The big team. They win loads of shit, apparently.
I ain't heard of an ice hockey team. I've heard of a netball team. We've got Nottingham Panthers. Have we?
Yeah, you got an ice hockey team.
I've never seen an ice hockey team.
I told you last season they were into a final.
Did you?
Against
was that drawn?
Some team against Sheffield or something. Some Sheffield team.
No, that'd be Nottingham Panthers. Are you taking the piss?
No, I'm not taking the piss.
Oh,
They're linked to your club.
Yeah, Nottingham Panthers are.
Yeah, they're linked. That team is linked to your club.
Yeah, Nottingham Panthers, yeah. It's not a ladies' team. It's a man's team. Well, I think they're all.
Hey, what do you reckon about? Did you see yesterday? I see it on Sky. The Sheffield Wednesday are in deep shit.
Really? What's going on with them?
Well, it looked like it could be going bust, mate.
Hmm.
Seriously. Yeah, they're in deep shit.
Well, what's happened there?
Financial.
All right. Well, I know Morecambe, they're done, aren't they?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, Morecambe's done on Monday, apparently.
But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, they're in deep shit, mate. Apparently. That'd be a great
I heard that.
See the Owls going, mate. They got some big history. They have
100%. Yeah. That
even though the tragedy that happened at Hillsborough, it was always going to happen there. I remember being in that end, and it was always a bit of a crush, and it wasn't nice. But it's a great ground for history. I mean, back, you think? I mean, I don't know. People know research football history. I do. It's something I like doing. Not just Arsenal, but any club. I've done a lot of stuff recently on Nottingham Forest, actually. And when you see what a team like the Owls, Sheffield Wednesday, have done in football history, it's a great shame. It's a great shame.
It is. 100%.
I don't want to see a team like that go out of the league and end up non-league and got to start again and all that shit. Yeah, I wouldn't be happy with that.
No, not at all. I mean, they've had some really good players as well, haven't they? Chris Waddle.
Oh, yeah.
They've had some really good players like back in the day. I mean, you don't want to see any team go to that point.
Well, 94, we had to play them twice in the league and the FA Cup final. Which of the FA Cup went to a bloody replay. You know what I'm saying? So they've had some great teams back in the years.
Yeah. Arsenal's famous red and white kit was inspired by Nottingham Forest, with the original red shirts and white shorts being donated by the club. Yeah, there was something that happened like that, but I don't think that was.
There was two players Arsenal bought from Nottingham Forest, and they came with those shirts.
One was a goalkeeper, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember his name though.
One guy was a striker, centre forward, as you'd call them back in the day. The goal, I don't know that one. I can look it up right now if I wanted to.
There's a goalkeeper, because I remember reading it. There's a goalkeeper. I can't remember his name though. Who took the shirts over? That's
when they changed the name as well. 1889 to Royal. Was it? No, I'm missing one here. It was Dial Square.
Isn't there a Cannon one as well?
Well, there what?
Isn't there a Cannon one as well?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Let me have a look. I'm sure there's a Cannon one, because I was reading through it the other day.
Don't know about that.
I can't remember what it actually was. Right.
Google it, mate. Google it.
Yeah, I'm doing. It's saying why are Arsenal called the Gunners? Obviously, that's to do with the cannon. I know you was playing near like a place that was making cannons. The cannon on the club's badge represents, since the early days, a direct representation of the factory's purpose and the club's history. Yeah, I knew it was. I'd ever use called the Cannons. I thought there was some kind of cannon thing. I don't know. I read it the other day. I don't know. I don't know. I know because I was looking at like I read like you. I read into a lot of like different things and the history of Spurs and all that kind of stuff. But Spurs is like one line. That's it. They bought a trophy cabinet and that's it.
Quite interesting there. I mean, Lone Star London has got it right. Formed in 1886 by the workers at the Woolwich Arsenal Foundry. The original name was Dale Square. They then came Royal Arsenal. No, they didn't go Royal Arsenal. Before Royal Arsenal went to Woolwich Arsenal, is the very unknown one. They became known as the Arsenal. Then it didn't last long. It didn't last very long. And then it went to Woolwich Arsenal. And then changed to Arsenal, as you quite rightly say, sir. But a lot of people don't know that they were actually called the Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I won't. I mean, I didn't know until many years ago. It didn't last long. It was probably maybe 18 months, maybe max 2 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, Jalil says, and I probably can't pronounce that one either, but Jalil says, Gunnosaurus, what do you think of it? Yeti, mate. Jez, mate, sorry. Yeah, you can say my surname if you can't pronounce my first name. So
it's Kawaji. It's easy. It's Kawaji.
Is it Kawaji? Is it? Okay.
Kawaji.
Fair play. I apologise about that. I can't read a lot of things.
Gunnosaurus. That's a great name, actually.
I think that's brilliant. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Is that gone now, Gunnosaurus?
No.
He's still a thing.
Mascot. No. He came back, didn't he? During COVID, they sacked him off, and then Ozil said, "No, fuck that. I'm paying your salary."
What? They sucked him off?
Yeah, they sacked him because they sacked him. Well, they got rid of all the scouts and various other personnel and people from the armory shop, and then they Ozil said, "No, can't do that. We'll have to." So he actually, fair play to Ozil, give him credit where credit's due. He actually paid for his salary to keep him as as an employee, if you like.
Yeah. If Forest signed Douglas Luiz, do they get Alicia Lehman too? Possible. I don't have any problems with EA. Yeah, no worries, mate. There's a lot of names come up, which you know that. So yes, I worry about fans of Woolwich. Matt, Harold, I mean, some of the stuff she come out is crazy. Juventus got their kit off Notts County. That's correct. We will always be the Arsenal and Spurs all the filth, says Lone Star. Terrorist football under Mikel Arteta. And Arteta has spent over 1.3 billion and won only one FA Cup in 6 years. That's absolutely disgraceful. Vincenzo, explain that to Lone Star Londoner because he thinks he's an elite manager. So explain that one to him, please do. I forgot about that and fucking parasites. Yeah, absolutely. Big up to Aaron, by the way. Big up to Shane as well, who was in earlier.
Yeah, go and support Shane and Aaron on their channels.
Absolutely. I'm going to drop the link in the chat if you want to come on.
Great content, mate. Great content.
The real deal is just about the real, whether it's Arsenal, whatever, what's happening in the world right now, because the world's going absolutely fucking bonkers. But, if you want to come on, you can. Yeah, Jez. Then we sold Ozil for free shortly after. The Ozil thing was weird for me because he looked a really good player, but he didn't really work out for you guys, did he?
Well, I think when he first came in that first season, I thought, oh wow, here we go. And then he sort of dropped down a little bit, and then we gave him that silly big contract.
No, we don't.
Stupid money, and it was then just like he just wasn't the same player anymore.
Nah.
He just wanted the big money, and we gave him the big money, stupidly, and we couldn't get rid of him.
We
wanted him because he's getting like 300 bags a week. You know what I mean? And nobody's going to pay that for him. And so we had to let him go for nothing. No, actually, we terminated his contract.
What do you think? What do you think about this Isaac thing? What's your thoughts on that? Like, what's going on with that in the minute?
Who?
Isaac.
Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it?
What's your thoughts on that?
I think he will go. I think he will go to Liverpool.
I
think his head's been turned. I think the problem at Newcastle, they got bags and bags of money. They don't spend it because of restrictions, and that restricts them. All right, they won the League Cup this year, and congratulations. But I think players like Isaac want the big one. They want the Premier League. They want European. And I think Liverpool coming and knocking on the door has turned his head a little bit. He's thinking, Liverpool are one for the future again. They've just won the Premier League again, and they're in Champions League again. Great history in the Champions League. You can't deny it. And therefore, I think he's like wanting to go.
But what do you think? Like, because I mean, I was talking to Mama Flossie earlier on in the week. We had a phone call because I always ask, what she thinks, because she's like watches a few like Newcastle channels and all this, that, and the other. But apparently, there was a promise made to him of earning like a fair amount of money at the end of the season, and it was made by Staveley, I think it was, and she left. And then the guy that came in, he said that's not happening. Yeah. So there's a promise been broken there as well, isn't there? So, I mean, I suppose you've got to take that into account as well.
Yeah, I see that. But I think the attraction of playing for a club like Liverpool, no disrespect to Newcastle United. I love Newcastle as a team. I love the people in the city. It's a fantastic place to go.
Yeah.
It's a great place to go. And I just think Liverpool as a team, Yeti, they're the bigger attraction.
Rashid, bro.
I mean, come on, look at what they've achieved in English football. They've done everything. They've done it, won it, everything. Everything in Europe they've won. So if a team comes knocking on your door and says, look, come over to Liverpool, we'll pay you this amount of money, whatever, I don't know how much it's going to be. They pay him a week. But that's a big pull. That's Real Madrid coming knocking on your door.
Yeah. I agree.
I agree. English football, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like in Spain, that's Real Madrid or that is Barcelona knocking on your door. It's a bit like years ago when Man United came knocking on your door. You're going to go, oh, hello, Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, of course you are.
Which is what? Oh, Alex Ferguson. Man United with just about everything.
Yeah.
And there was a period in time, respectfully, when the only team challenged them was Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it was a fight between Man United or Arsenal who was going to get the better player. And under Wenger, he got all the French players. He had the inroads to the French academy, the international academy, I mean. And David Dean, Sir Peter Hillwood, they had that influence to drag players over. And Man United had Sir Alex Ferguson and his team. So that was the two you would go for.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I agree with you 100%. But at the same point, like I say, if the club gives you a promise and then breaks that promise, and then the Liverpool thing's on the line, then, that promise broken is I mean, can you blame him, really, if the promise was broken? Because, I mean, that's what I've been told. I don't know if that's real or true or whatever. I go from what Mama Flossie tells me, and obviously she goes on like other channels and stuff like that. But promises to players are massive, and if you don't complete those promises, then they're going to have an issue with it, aren't they? Anybody is.
Of course. And I think also Liverpool, they're striving to get back to the best of the best as they have been in the past, and they've done it recently, let's be honest.
Yeah, which is what they should be doing. Yeah,
they want to be back dominating, like Man City have in recent times, like Man United, used to do. And so I wouldn't be at all surprised if Isaac's thinking, Slot, first year in, wins the Premier League, Champions League this year.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, it's
a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
I don't know how much he's on a week at Newcastle. It's got to be what 180, something like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Tell me. Somebody tell me that. But he's going to get a big salary when he goes to Liverpool. God help us, the rest of us, when that lot get playing.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, Stephanie says, do you think Isaac just trying to increase his salary at Liverpool, Newcastle? I mean, it could be something like that, the same as like Morgan Gibbs White, but I don't think so.
Look, he's 27 now, right? He wants to win silver.
On the road.
He's a millionaire now anyway, right? With what he's earned in his life as a footballer, he's a multi-millionaire. I think at 27, he's probably thinking, I want silverware now. He's had a League Cup with Newcastle, right? Fair enough. But he's probably thinking, I want that European Champions League. I want maybe an FA Cup. I want the Premier League. No disrespect to Newcastle at all. I don't think they're in the market for winning a Premier League. Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed if they did, to be honest, because I respect that club probably more than any other club, if you want my honest opinion. But the thing is, I think he wants. So, Lone Star saying Isaac's on 250k a week. So he's a multi-millionaire now anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
Can you blame him if he wanted to go to Liverpool? No, you can't. I mean, he look. Let's put it this way, right? If he was at Arsenal, as an Arsenal, no, let's change that. Let's change. If this is Saka, right? Saka as a player, young player, on whatever he's on a week, and a team like Liverpool come in for him, I wouldn't blame him for going. Do you know why? Because he'd go to a better club at this point in time, a better manager, and a team that's got more ambition than Arsenal.
Yeah, true.
And I'm sitting here saying that as a lifelong Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but it's truth.
I mean, the thing is, as a footballer, your next game could be your last, couldn't it? Let's face it. Your next game could be your last. So if an opportunity comes where you can... It's like if you're working in a warehouse and someone turns around to you and says, I want you to work in my warehouse and I'll give you 10 grand more than these are giving you, then you're going to go there, aren't you? And I think a lot of the time we forget, we don't take into account that point about footballers because they are incessantly employees who are trying to make something of themselves.
But it is a short career, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Of course it is. Of course it's a short career.
If you're in general employment from the age of 16, or let's say 18 as an adult, your working life is up to what, 65, 67?
Yeah.
If you choose to do that, their working life is from professional football first class let's say 16, 17, up to about 35. Okay, there are the odd ones that go on beyond that. And there are a few of them still out. But that's your career. That's it. You're done. And then your job choice after that is coaching or becoming a pundit on the TV, radio, or doing nothing, which I don't think a lot of these people like to do. They want to be involved with the game. They love the game. And so you've got that sort of situation. So you can't blame them, mate. You can't. Look, I'm sorry. I've said it before. All of these players, right, are. Well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but at the end of the day, if you pay them, they'll come. That's it. It's money, man.
Yeah.
And they want trophies. They want to sit down when they're 60 and retired and go and look at their trophy.
They want a legacy, don't they? They want a legacy.
They want to be able to say to their kids, "Oh, Dad, tell me about that medal." Oh yeah, well that was right. We played in the Champions League in Munich, and we won the game 4-1 against whoever the man. And that's how it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Terry Tibb says, "Big up, yeah, big up, Jazz." Apparently, AFTV linking Brahim Diaz to Arsenal. What happened to Eze bid? What's the hold up? Well, what I've just read is they want 68 million, was it? And you're offering 52 million. So I don't think they're just going to let him go like for nothing, you know. So you've got the problem with Arsenal. I have is you always try and go in lower. You upset players, right? You make it that you want them, and that upsets the players, and then basically you go in really low. And we do it as well. I think everybody does it. And I think that's one of the biggest issues with like what Spurs did, because they did it and just went in right on the dot. I mean, what did you think about that? Because it's like that Morgan Gibbs White thing for me was just there was three stupid things that happened there. Yeah. One, the release clause at 60 million, which I think was pathetic. Two, the leak of how much the NDA release clause was. And three, the fact that Spurs just hit an NDA straight away.
I don't know, mate. I'll be honest with you. Look, I don't know a lot about it. I can't really comment because I'm not up to date with a lot of stuff being out here. I don't get all the news on it. So I really can't comment on that. Be fair.
Don't you think? I mean, like, for instance, right? If you like got told that, I don't know, Eze's release clause is 40 million, and that's a private thing, yeah, would you then go 40 million? You wouldn't, because every team goes lower. Look at the way you're trying to get Eze now. You know his release clause, apparently, yeah. Because it's not like an NDA thing. So you're going 42, 45, 47, you know, and then eventually you get the release clause. The release clause to me, when you have an NDA, because every contract is dealt with it behind closed doors. So nobody knows what it is unless it's like one that is put right out there. The release clause to me is like when you're trying to get a cork out of a champagne bottle, you know. And you keep pushing at 52, you push at 55, and then you hit 60. And it's like, shit, bang, fucking cork goes, champagne goes everywhere, you know. And that's kind of the way that a release clause works, in my opinion. And if there's an NDA on it, then surely you go lower. You don't just go right for the fucking NDA, because that just shows that you know exactly what it is.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. But look, come on, everybody's going to try and negotiate the deal down, aren't they?
Of course you are.
Sure. Of course you are. Every club does it. But at the end of the day, if a club is strong enough to hold out, then you're going to have to pay the money.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not my point. My point is they hit the NDA right on the nail. Now, you know yourself, if you want Eze and it's like 68 million, you still go in at 42 and you keep moving up and you keep moving up and you keep moving up to see where you can break their resolve. But if you go straight in with the actual NDA, you've been told what that is.
I don't think any club does that, though, do you?
No, exactly. And that is why it all fell down.
Do you remember old Wenger and Suarez? 40 million pound.
Yeah.
Do you remember that piss take?
So that's what every club does. And then you hit the release clause and then it goes on from there. If they'd have done that, they would have got Morgan Gibbs White. We'd have been pissed off. But if they'd have actually done that, that would have been what it was. I mean, like I've said to you before about Morgan Gibbs White, he's got a lot to learn. I think he's got the ability to be like in the 100 million record for like a midfielder, but he's still got a lot to learn. So, you know, it is what it is in that respect. But I think Spurs are really stupid in that situation.
But Terry says there, very good point, my friend. But they were happy to pay 50 million without hesitation for mediocre Madueke, but won't pay slightly more for a far superior player in Eze. Now that's what I find annoying.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
That's what I find very, very annoying. You know what I mean? This continual bullshit. We have last 6 years, we've done something with Chelsea, right? Now, they're supposed to be one of our London rivals, apparently. Yet we buy their offshoots. Don't understand it. Don't get it. Why? What we doing? Because
makes no sense, does it?
I don't think he's as much of a player, that Madueke. Not that impressed with what I've seen of him.
No, I ain't been either.
You know that
big up the millet.
Silly bollocks Arteta, he'll shoehorn him in somewhere.
You
do that because I'm pretty certain the deals we do with Chelsea, there's always a clause in there. They've got to have a certain amount of game time.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. Willian, I'm sure that was the same bloody situation. Right? We had that, oh, dear God. Sterling, what a waste of space that guy was. What a waste of space he was. All right, we weren't paying all his salary. We were only paying a third of it. But, you know, and nah, not for me. Not for me, mate.
Yeah, it makes no sense, does it, really? Stephanie says, Arsenal buy both City and Chelsea's unwanted players. It's bizarre. Yeah, they do. They do. Super can make Chelsea rejects better, everyone. I've said this a few times, right? I think there's a deal on the table that if Arsenal sack Arteta, he's going to get the job at Chelsea.
Say that again?
I think if Arsenal sack Arteta, he's going to get the job at Chelsea. And that's why he keeps buying their players.
Good. Fuck off to Chelsea then.
I'm sure there's something like that. I'm sure he's like feathering his cap towards somewhere else.
Bye-bye. Go.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine that's what you think, to be honest. I believe that, there's something going on. Because it was like when he first took over Arsenal, it was all about taking Man City's rejects. Now it's all about taking Chelsea's rejects.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you ain't gone for like Nicholas Jackson at 100 million.
That was talked about, wasn't it?
That would have been the
was talked about.
That would have been
we won't get the deal done for 60-odd million for Eze. I mean, West Ham had our pants down with bloody Declan Rice.
Yeah, he's been worth it, though.
He's a great player. But I think we could have got him for less.
Yeah, I would say probably. Yeah.
I think we made it too public that we desperately wanted him. I think it was a bad negotiation stance from Arsenal under Edu. I think he publicised it way too much. And West Ham just sat there and said, 105 million. If you want him, that's it. We ain't dropping the price.
Yeah.
Man City wanted him, dropped out the race because they said, "Fuck that, we ain't paying that." But Arsenal, we paid it, and yes, he's a very, very good player. But we had our pants taken down. There's no problem about that. We all know that.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what we're getting. What Arsenal are now. We haven't.
It happens, doesn't it? It happens. Rice costs 105 million. Alex McAllister and Sandro Tonali were 55 million each. Yeah, I mean that's a good point as well. Stephanie, Chelsea practice hypnosis in getting rid of their trash to rivals. I think they do. They do. You're right. You're absolutely spot on there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can you ask Jez about the question I put up? Mate, I lost it. I did have it on the screen, but I can't remember where it was now. I think it was still with Bruce Rioch. I did it. Here we go. I'll find it. Question to Jez, was it Bruce Rioch who signed Bergkamp and Platt, or was it down to David Dean? I'm just going to go get a piss, bro. So I'll be back in a sec. Have a piss, even.
That was all purely down to David Dean, mate. Bruce Rioch was the manager, but that was all down to David Dean and Sir Peter Hillwood. They had the power of negotiation, them two, and they had the pulling power. It wasn't Bruce Rioch that went to Bergkamp and David Platt and said, "Come and play for Arsenal." It was David Dean and Sir Peter Hillwood. They were the ones that had the power to do it. And that's how that one worked. It happened to be it's Bruce Rioch was manager, and of course people are going to say, "Oh, Bruce Rioch brought in Bergkamp and Platt." I think you'll find it was actually the two people in charge of the club at the time that did that. But yeah, Bruce Rioch probably had a bit to play in it. Probably did, but it was definitely David Dean and Sir Peter Hillwood back in the day. They were the two that got the players in. It was like the influence of Wenger had a lot more to do with getting players in, like Vieira, Henry. I mean, Henry had worked with Wenger before anyway, and so Wenger had the influence on him there. And the likes of Pires, all that lot, that was a lot to do with Wenger, because he had that magnetism, he had that attraction, and he had the experience. Having managed in France, he had a big inroad in with the French national team and the French academies. But it was always the negotiating skills of it's the old saying, wasn't it? It's the old saying, wasn't it? AFC. It's always the old saying that when Arsenal knocked on the door, it was a different knock. And when Peter Hillwood and David Dean came knocking, it was a different knock, and people sat up and listened.
Yeah.
We ain't got that now. We ain't got that now. Maybe Bert will change it up. I don't know. Maybe he will.
I think there's a possibility he will, to be honest.
I don't think we've got the same people on the board now, though, Yeti.
Yeah.
We had a very, very influential board in football. And whenever, what was her name? Lady, whatever, I can't think of her name now. And she sold up to the Cronkies. That was the end of it, really. She had the last puzzle in the jigsaw, that lady.
Yeah.
Sold it out to the Cronkies. And ever since then, it's gone downwards.
Yeah. 100%.
Can't think of her name now. I mean, that her family have been. Her family, what the hell's her name? They'd been with the Arsenal as board members, owners, shareholders, whatever you want to call it, for donkey's years. I think going back to the 40s. And over a period of time. Anyway, she sold up, and that was the end of that. Then, see you later.
Yeah, pretty much the way it goes, isn't it?
That's it. Nina Bracewell Smith. Well done, Ash. Well done, my friend. Lady Nina Bracewell Smith. That's it. Well done, mate.
No idea.
Home start. You got it as well.
Can't fault Google, can you? Big up Ash, anyway. Big up, mate. Ramsdale to Newcastle on loan. See how he goes there, Jez. Well, I mean, what do you think about like what's going on with Newcastle? Because it was like I said last season that they're the team you're going to have to watch out for because they're going to be pulling in players left, right, and centre. And now you've got like this Isaac thing going on, which is, you know, he's definitely going to go. We've seen all this before. He's definitely going to go.
Yeah, of course.
So, mind you, that again, I said that about Morgan Gibbs White, but you know, I think there was other things like in case in point in that one, but you know, I don't know. I mean, I thought they was gonna like sort of build a major team this winter, you know, and they're getting turned down by everybody who they're trying to sign, apart from Malanga, of course.
Points, mate. I'm gonna have to bounce shortly, buddy, because it's going to be.
Yeah, no worries. I was gonna cut it anyway, so it's no problem with that, mate.
I'll be getting in trouble again.
In fact, I'll cut it now because we'll have a chat sort of afterwards, and so yeah. Everybody who's been in the stream, everybody who's been here, big up to all of you from Jazz's channel, from my channel, and yeah, I shall catch you all later. And as always, guys, keep it real, keep it Yeti. And Jazz, got anything to say? Well, you don't have to promote your channel; we're already on it. But
yeah, big up to everybody that's come over to support Yeti. If you come over from my channel, like and subscribe, please, to Yeti. I appreciate you've come over and shared. So it's always helped us, always good to support the community that we're in and support fellow YouTubers, whoever they are. And obviously, you know that Yeti and I do a lot of streams together.
Yeah.
Collabing and all that. So please give him a like and a sub if you haven't. Otherwise, you'll come across me, and I'll come knocking on your door. And
come across me. That sounds weird.
I'm joking. Big up everybody. Big up who's been watching.
Absolutely. So yeah, keep it real, keep it Yeti, keep it Jazz, keep it Jazzy. Yeah. One more thing, guys. Catty fucking bye. See you later, guys.
Take care, all.